Peace and blessing to the chosen. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. Drop a 7 in the comments if the audio coming through clearly before we start. All praise to the Most High, the creator of the heavens, the earth, and everything that's in them. As always, let me get a 7. 2 witnesses in the comments to let me know that the audio coming through clearly. For tonight's study, not so much as I didn't have the mindset to actually teach, but rather for us to kind of just engage in the word, man. You know what I mean? To study these scriptures, study these words, or these epistles, even. You know, anything that'll fortify our faith, build us up in spirit in these times. You know what I mean? As long as we occupy in righteousness and feeding our spirit, if we walk in the spirit, we won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. You know what I mean? So the goal of the adversary is to have us drawn away from the word, drawn away from the Most High, drawn away from holiness, be so occupied and immersed into everything else that we don't have time to actually feed our spirit, which will make us stronger against any attack that the adversary launch against us. So a lot of times what happened, because we ain't built up in the spirit, spiritually, our responses to situations be more carnal and fleshly. You know what I mean? Easily to be brought down instead of staying above and elevated. But again, let me get the 7 in the comments. Somebody drop a 7 for me. Drop a 7 in the comments for me if everything coming through clearly with the audio. Okay. All praise to the Most High. All right, family. So for the study tonight, it's been a while. I wanted to complete all 12 readings of the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. If you don't know who the Patriarchs are, when it come down to the scriptures, and many people not understanding that the Bible is not a religious book, it's not some fairy tale book. You actually can find events historically. You could go to a historian who's an atheist, and information that's within these scriptures that came out of the scrolls can be found in world history. For example, if we're talking about the Maccabees, you read about the Maccabees in this book here, the Apocrypha. Many people don't have those records because these books have been removed from the canon, which is the commonly used Bible that has 66 books. But anyway, in First Maccabees, it talk about Antiochus or Antiochus. It talk about how the empire was overtaken. The Persian Empire was taken by Alexander the Great or Alexander the Greek. That's world history, family. And I'm saying that to say to destroy or at least attack and weaken the delusion in the mind of those people who feel like the Bible is a fairy tale book. It was so long ago. It's nothing to be applied. It's old age. We're in a new age and a new time. How does that benefit? Like those things are recorded in history and prophecies from these books still being fulfilled. All right, but in accord with the patriarchs, so you have the bloodline coming from Adam, the first man, through Seth on down to Noah. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right, so the Most High kept up with, the Creator kept up with that line of Shem. Shem brought on down to Eber, and Eber on down to Abraham. Abraham had 2 sons, Isaac and Ishmael. The Most High didn't deal with Ishmael. He dealt with Isaac. So the promise and the covenant that he made with the man Abraham through his faith and his commitment to the Creator, he passed it down to his posterity, to Isaac. Isaac had sons, Esau and Jacob, they were twins. All right, and so he didn't keep up with the child Esau, who was the father of the Edomites. He kept up with Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, where you get who is the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so those sons that came from Jacob, that came from Israel, those are the patriarchs. So when we read Revelation, we're talking about Revelation 7, where it say from each tribe was sealed 12,000, from the tribe of Reuben, from the tribe of Simeon, from the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Naphtali, the tribe of Manasseh, the tribe of Zebulun, the tribe of Ephraim, Benjamin, all these different names, which that's not something that's always being taught within these environments that promote quote unquote God. What I wanted to do tonight, family, was to look into the testament or the record that was left behind one of those sons, the second son being Simeon. All right, so these are what we're gonna read tonight, study, kind of analyze, and just see which way the Holy Spirit lead us with it. These are words that he was telling his sons before he died, his children. So things that he learned in his life, he like, look, man, this is what I went through and experienced, and this is what the Most High showed me. This is something that I want y'all to take within y'all selves and apply to y'all's lives after I'm gone. This was a custom for our people, the children of Israel. All right, so I'm coming out of, I got the R.H. Charles version. Mine's a bit old from the pseudepigraphy for this book here. So my page toe, my cover rather. I'm gonna keep up with me, R.H. Charles. When I read this years ago, it was fortification of my spirit, made me stronger. You know, definitely is edifying, in my opinion. All right, so we'll go ahead to the Testament of Simeon. I'm in chapter 1. It says the Testament of Simeon, the second son of Jacob and Leah. The copy of the words of Simeon. The things which he spake to his sons before he died, in the 120th year of his life, at which time Joseph, his brother, died. For when Simeon was sick, his sons came to visit him, and he strengthened himself and sat up and kissed them and said, hearken, my children, to Simeon your father, and I will declare unto you what things I have in my heart. I was born of Jacob as my father's second son, and my mother Leah called me Simeon, because the Most High had heard her prayer. Moreover, I became strong exceedingly. I shrank from no achievement, nor was I afraid of aught, for my heart was hard, and my liver was immovable, and my bowels without compassion. So he telling the personality that Simeon had was one that could be categorized as stoic. Like he wasn't no soft type, emotional, real intimate and sensitive type of man. He's saying like he got a hard face. Like, man, he really serious business all the time. He wasn't afraid of nothing. He fearless. He ready to go. He on go mode all the time. All right, continuing on though. Verse 6. It says, and my bowels without compassion, because valor also has been given from the Most High to men in soul and body. All right, now there's something to highlight, family, because one thing when we read about in 1 Corinthians 12, we talk about the gifts that we have. And some people don't know, but even faith is a gift. You know what I mean? So some had the gifts of helps, the gift of healings. So we read right here, some people, they just, you meet them and they just fearless in them. You're like, man, how this dude is a natural born warrior. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gave that individual that gift to be like that for his purposes. I says, for in the time of my youth, I was jealous in many things of Joseph, because my father loved him beyond all. And I set my mind against him to destroy him, because the prince of deceit sent forth the spirit of jealousy and blinded my mind, so that I regarded him not as a brother, nor did I spare even Jacob my father. Now, this right here is powerful. This was one of the powerful things that, like I said, when I read it years ago, talking about the spirit of jealousy, which that jealous spirit, as we read it, we come in and understand, my jealousy and envy will cause a person to disregard even their loved ones. Jealousy and envy will cause an individual to disregard somebody who ain't showed nothing but love to them, who always looked out for them, who always been considerate of them. Which in summation, there's another form of unappreciation. It's a dangerous thing. It's a very threatening thing with high potential for destruction. All right, but again, he said, because his father loved Joseph beyond them all. And I set my mind against him to destroy him. This is little brother, y'all. Because the prince of deceit sent forth the spirit of jealousy and blinded my mind, so that I regarded him not as a brother, nor did I spare even Jacob my father. But his power and the power of his fathers sent forth his angel and delivered him out of my hands. For when I sent to Shechem to bring ointment for the flocks, and Reuben to Dothan, where were our necessaries and all our stores, Judah my brother sold him to the Ishmaelites. So we going into the account with Joseph. If you're familiar with the scriptures, Joseph was sold by his brothers to the Ishmaelites into slavery. These Ishmaelites transferred, and then took Joseph to Egypt, where he became a servant to Potiphar. All right, so this is the inception of even a part of the story of how the Most High used this calamitous situation with Joseph to get our people, the children of Israel, into Egypt, to raise Joseph up to be vice regent. And then, in short, he saved Egypt from the famine, which in a sense was like he saved the world in that time period. All right, so but Simeon just running down what happened. All right, continuing on, it says, and when Reuben heard these things, he was grieved, for he wished to restore him to his father. Reuben wanted to give Joseph back to his dad. All right, but on hearing this, I was exceedingly wroth against Judah, and that he let him go away alive. And for 5 months I continued wrathful against him. Simeon so jealous for 5 months. Imagine it. And that's what go on with a lot of people nowadays, having an envious and jealous spirit on them and in them, mad at people. Like, I don't understand how a person could even be mad for a complete day in certain situations. But that thing to be jealous and to be mad like that for months at a time, like, man, that's super draining. Mind so dark, you can't see nothing but the idea to destroy. And he gonna talk about it. All right, so Judah sold his brother Joseph. You know what I'm saying? And Reuben, the oldest brother, wanted to restore Joseph back to his daddy, who is Israel. Simeon, the second brother, mad because he rather, instead of selling Joseph to the Ishmaelites, he like, man, we should have killed him. This is his own brother. All right, continuing on. It says, but the Most High restrained me and withheld from me the power of my hands, for my right hand was half withered for 7 days. And I knew, my children, that because of Joseph this had befallen me, and I repented and wept. And I besought the Most High power that my hand might be restored, and that I might hold aloof from all pollution and envy and from all folly. For I knew that I had devised an evil thing before the Most High and Jacob my father, on account of Joseph my brother, in that I envied him. And now, my children, Hearken unto me and beware of the spirit of deceit and envy. So now he giving us the game. Unc finna put us on game about how to handle these spirits. It's somebody who dealing with envy and they're like, man, it is people who want to be free from the chains and shackles of envy and deceit. Here go one of your answers right here, fam. It says, for envy ruleth over the whole mind of a man, and suffereth him neither to eat nor to drink, nor to do any good thing, but it ever suggested to him to destroy him that he envieth. So you got folks jealous of other people. They missing meals. Not like you got the saying, they say, man, these people living rent free in your head. All you thinking about is this person, and they probably not even thinking about you. But the Unc is letting us know, I mean, a person to go without eating and everything. They can't even do nothing good. Everything is impure and polluted because this spirit. All right. Let's see. But it ever suggested to him to destroy him that he envieth. And so long as he that is envied flourisheth, so as long as the person you envying constantly getting blessed and the Most High making things work out for him. A lot of people envious through social media. They say, man, look at how many likes and comments and shares he and she got. Look at the following. And then it don't even always have to be that. Why is this dude every time he come to work, or my sibling or my cousin or whoever, why they always happy and smiling? Like what's going on in their life that's so fun when in my world things are just crashing down? People be jealous of your happiness. These folks be jealous of your joy, man. Folks will be jealous because you had a good night's rest, a good night's sleep. People be jealous of your relationships. They jealous of your marriage. They jealous of how you and your brother get along, how you and your sister get along, how you and your children get along, how you and your parents get along. Jealous over all type of stuff. And then the mind of these individuals, if they bound by those spirits and they don't want to be free, they always looking for a way to overthrow the person that they jealous of. This is why they can't be trusted. A person who envy you, who jealous of you, you can't trust them to make your food for you. You know what I'm saying? These people, they might do something to your food. You know what I'm saying? And we get more info about jealousy when we read Sirach. But going back into it though, man, I said, and so long as he that is envied flourisheth, he that envieth fadeth away. 2 years, therefore, I afflicted my soul with fasting in the fear of the Most High. And I learned that deliverance, here we go. And I learned that deliverance from envy, highlight that one, cometh by the fear of a higher. So to be delivered from this spirit of envy, you got to fear the Most High. And a lot of people don't fear the Most High because they so locked in on this individual who they really hate. They can't hear nothing good. You can't come and tell them, hey, man, you know, such and such just had a good experience. They're going to find some kind of way to make it sour. They're going to turn their lips up. They're going to have a problem with that. And in doing it, they not giving the Most High praise and glory for whatever he doing in somebody else's life. Jealousy will do that to a person. You can't even be happy for your neighbor. Why you can't be happy for somebody good? That's another example of good in the world. Man, I love goodness. I made a post just recently. Man, I love love. I love what's right and honorable. I don't benefit those who seek the Most High, who love what's righteousness, who love what's right. Man, we don't benefit from no kind of evil being in the world. That ain't something that benefit us. We want a kingdom. We pilgrims in the earth. We desiring a better kingdom where none of the wickedness flourish or is even in existence. All right, so I'm saying all that to say, an individual should be able to glorify the Most High. The fear of the Most High gonna make you praise Him for whatever He doing good in the next person's life. But if jealousy and envy is your master, your vision gonna be darkened and polluted. You ain't gonna be able to praise Him for that. But he said, and I learned that deliverance from envy cometh by the fear of the Most High. For if a man flee to the Most High, the evil spirit runneth away from him, and his mind is lightened. All praises to the Most High. And henceforth he sympathizeth with him, whom he envied, and forgiveth those who are hostile to him, and so ceaseth from his envy. When we run to the Most High, evil can't dwell in the presence of the Most High, man. Wickedness can't flourish in the presence of the Almighty. Just like anytime a room can be completely dark, once you flick that light on, all the darkness vanishes, except the shadows from the objects in the room. But y'all get the picture. When you cut that, the darkness can't override and overpower the light, man. It causes it to disappear. So the mind's being darkened through envy. Whatever got you jealous, if this message, this thing cutting you, is applying to you. And even if it don't, man, because we got to understand that just as sure as we living in these days and time, it's spirits going to and fro looking for hosts. They looking for bodies. Something might happen where, you know what, you ain't been no jealous individual. But however, something happened to where now you wondering why you feeling these ill thoughts towards somebody else that's embedded and rooted in jealousy. This is why we got to stay on guard. This is why reading, and when we read, we can't just be reading because Val is reading so fast. Take your time to let these words digest, man. So to take the time to, when we read, we understand and actually comprehending what we read. It's better to read it like a conversation, like you talking. If you don't, some people do talk fast, but read it slow enough for your mind to grasp the words on the page. You know what I'm saying? And that causes our spirit man, our spirit woman to be more fortified. You know what I'm saying? Along with fasting, like bro said, he fasted for 2 years. Man, hey, look, man, that's a super commitment. You got some people, the most they done fast been a couple hours. It been a day, been 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Now, when he's saying he fasted for 2 years, I'm not, of course, we can comprehend. He ain't saying he just went on a dry fast for 2 years straight. Like, dude somewhere a skeleton at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, you set your fast in a way where the vow that come out your lips, make sure you committed to it with the Most High. Prepare your spirit before you fast. Make sure you got your head all the way in the game. Like, Father, I want to go on a 2-day fast. And within my fast, I'm not gonna taste anything from the point that I wake up to like 5 in the evening. Then I break my fast for these 2 days, and have your mind and body prepared that when you go on that fast, expect for temptation to be present. Expect for something to try to prevent you from completing what you said. Expect to wake up and your body feel different from your normal routine and regimen. But these are signs that the flesh is responding to the spirit, that the fast is actually working. All right, but he said he fasted for 2 years. Read, fast, praise, doing good works, charitable works, in sincerity. These things help fortify our spirits against the wiles of the enemy, against the adversary. You know what I mean? People go out to feed the homeless, and in it, when we actually taking it to heart, they might like, dang, You know, these people out here, the heat index been like 104, but these folks, they out here. They gotta run and try to find shade, or they don't have no specific place that they gotta be at. You come out there and give them some water or something to eat, it should return to your spirit like, wow, this could be me. That induces another form of humility, which keep pride away. You know what I'm saying? So that thing go far, man. But anyway, continue. It said, "Not learned that deliverance from envy come about a fear of a higher. For if a man flee to the Most High, the evil spirit runneth away from him, and his mind is lightened. And henceforth he sympathizeth with him, whom he envied, and forgiveth those who are hostile to him, and so ceaseth from his envy. And my father asked concerning me, because he saw that I was sad. And I said unto him, I am pained in my liver, for I mourn more than they all, because I was guilty of the selling of Joseph. And when we went down into Egypt, and he bound me as a spy, I knew that I was suffering justly, and I grieved not." So this is the same one when we read in Exodus. You know, the brothers came during the famine to Egypt. The Most High then elevated Joseph like he showed him in a vision. And to prove his brothers, you know what I mean, he just kind of messing with them, but to gauge them to see, are they repentful for selling him? This is what Joseph did in wisdom. He kept and bound his brother Simeon. Simeon didn't recognize his brother. Simeon thinking that Joseph is an Egyptian, which within itself, those who, like I'm talking about historically, and we looking at the fact that the Egyptians were melanated people, brown people, dark-skinned people. This let us know that the children of Israel, our people, are melanated and brown when we reading about these Israelites and these Hebrews. He couldn't tell the difference if his brother was Egyptian or Israelite, being two different nations. All right, but he kept Simeon bound, told him, I'm gonna keep Simeon. Y'all bring back this brother y'all say y'all got. Because he didn't know about I don't think Joseph knew about Benjamin before he was sold, if I recalled it right. Y'all can check me on that one. But anyway, he held Simeon captive until his brothers returned with Benjamin to prove that, you know, that they was not lying about, you know what I'm saying, coming to Egypt to spy out the land. All right, but continuing on, it says, now Joseph was a good man and had the spirit of the Most High within him. Being compassionate and pitiful, he bore no malice against me, but loved me even as the rest of his brethren. Beware, therefore, my children, of all jealousy and envy, and walk in singleness of heart. That the Most High may give you also grace and glory and blessing upon your heads, even as ye saw in Joseph's case. So even though they sold this man, they sold their brother. He went through what he went. He got falsely accused of Potiphar's wife that he tried to rape her. So he got put in prison, you know what I'm saying, and had to be in there for a while. All of this happened spawned from a point of jealousy. And we look at that in today's time, man. It's a lot of people in prison today. Bro, it's a lot of people who got killed. They in the graveyard, they dead. It's a lot of people walking through the neighborhoods of America and England, in Brazil and Australia, because somebody jealous put something in their drinks. Or he thinking that this is friend, and it's not to say it was okay, but they finna smoke. He put some in the weed. Put some in the food, man, because of jealousy. When it lied on that man. When it created a complete false narrative that cost that man or that woman their life. Cost that man or that woman their freedom. Even like a story that's happening right now. Just speaking on it on a surface level, because there's always two sides, you know what I'm saying, about a story. But you had a sister who she was, you know, a mail carrier, and she had her children in the mail cart with her at work because she didn't have nobody to keep her children. Come to find out, they saying that the children's father purposely didn't get the children that day so that she would have to have the children with her at work. And then I believe he called the police on her. You know what I'm saying? To try to cost her job out of jealousy. That spirit goes so deep, man. That thing can lead to all type of ramifications, bro. Like jealousy. You got people lying and trying to stir up crap in other folks' marriages because they jealous. They hate the fact that y'all get along the way y'all get along. They can't stand the fact, man, y'all still married. Man, it been that long. Y'all still together. They hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like it really bothered. They can't sleep. They so jealous. They wake up and go to sleep thinking about how good how they think how good your life is. Looking for the perfect opportunities to set a snare, to set a trap, to create the problem that'll be a wedge between you and your spouse because they jealous, or you and your friend. They jealous because the people at the job, you got the Most High and pull this favor out on you to where you actually know how to talk to people. You know how to deal with people and meet them where they at. And because of that, the manager, supervisor, the lead, the other associates took note of it and said, man, you know, I'm going to put it in the word for you. But this individual with the nasty attitude, jealous of that. Like all you had to do was show love. Jealousy. It's a spirit. It's nothing good about it. It's not a good thing. Some people live their lives with jealousy, saying, and they justify that jealousy. They justify the spirit of envy that's in them. That's not from the Most High, man. But it said Joseph had a good heart. And let us take note of the fact Simeon called the man, like, man, when Joseph had him in, you know what I mean, locked up like that, he like, man, I suffered, you know what I'm saying, knowing that I did my brother wrong. And people kind of accept and take accountability for their actions. Yeah, man. So we got to keep that in. Dude took accountability for what he did, man. That's a segue down the path that leads to freedom from that type of spirit. All right. It says, all his days he reproached us not concerning this thing, but loved us as his own soul, and beyond his own sons glorified us and gave us riches and cattle and fruits. Do ye also, my children, love each one his brother with a good heart, and the spirit of envy will withdraw from you. There go another key. Highlight that one. Giving us the game. You want to keep that spirit of jealousy off you? You don't want to be operating in that spirit? It said, love each one his brother with a good heart, and the spirit of envy will withdraw from you. All right, so and when we're talking about the heart, that's the mind. We're not talking about the vessel that's beating in our chest. All right, the mind. So when you have thoughts that rise up because we in this flesh, this just a vehicle. This body is a vehicle for the spirit. The thoughts that rise up that's unlike the most, we got to cast them down. Cast those, anything that exalts itself above the knowledge of the Most High, we got to cast those things down. Then it tell us too, whatever is good, whatever of good report, those things that is holy, that is upright. You know what I mean? That is heavenly wisdom, that is above the bar and not low the bar, like my sister would say. Yeah, think on those things, meditate on those things, man. It says, for this maketh savage the soul and destroyeth the body. It causeth anger and war in the mind, and stirreth up unto deeds of blood, and leadeth the mind into frenzy. So that jealousy can lead to now, you wondering why they pulled the knife out and stabbed the old boy. You wondering why she picked up the 2x4 and hit the other woman across the head. It wasn't none of the other stuff the people speculating. The whole thing, the root of the matter, she was jealous of her. She was jealous of her shape, or jealous of how her hair grow, or just jealous because it's a, she's looking at her across the street and she got a job and she don't. Jealous because she can pick up on the spirit of the Most High on her. Don't get it confused, family. The people on the dark side got discernment too. They can tell when light in you. Jealous of your light. They want to put it out. Man, I'm so mad at how you keep your yard together. Why you out? Okay, we live in a park. Why you out here sweeping your porch? Folk be jealous about some crazy stuff, bro. That's how you know it's a spirit. It's an evil spirit, but it'll lead to blood, deeds of blood, and leadeth the man into frenzy, and cause a tumult to the soul and trembling to the body. Even that jealousy will cause your body to start decaying. Your health will start declining. You wonder why you sick? You wonder why, okay, you feel like you question, man, am I getting Alzheimer's and dementia? Because the war in your mind that spun from jealousy is causing your body to decline. You ain't getting enough sleep. We have to refresh and get rest, man. Even if it's a little bit, a little folding of the hands. But some people ain't sleeping at all. It says, for even in sleep, look at that. I wasn't even trying to go to that. Look at that. It says, for even in sleep, some malicious jealousy, deluding him, gnaweth, and with wicked spirits, disturb of his soul. The man or the woman can't even sleep because they jealous. This spirit of jealousy in them taking away the state of refreshment that every being needs. Look, bugs go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Horses go to sleep standing up. Creatures in the water go to sleep, man. Everything got to get some rest. And here it is. The Most High even said, man, I'm going to pull y'all out y'all land that the land can enjoy her Sabbaths and rest. Even the earth rest, man. But this spirit of jealousy, if one allows it into their temple, operate in it, man, it drive your sleep away, man. It said, disturb of the soul and cause of the body to be troubled, and wake of the mind from sleep in confusion. And as a wicked and poisonous spirit, so appeareth it to men. Therefore was Joseph comely in appearance. So you looking at people and you say, man, like, wow,